There we are. Hello, hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Thank you all for being here. I want to go into the energy of the eclipse season. I love the love in the chat. Thank you very much. More than I'm going to say right now. So I can do the reading. Also, it's Juan's birthday. If you've been on any live ever for the last, I don't know, 3-4 years where I'm here, everybody knows Juan. It is Juan's birthday today. It is Shauna's birthday tomorrow. It's community birthday Virgo season. Thank you all for giving me the space to take care of some health stuff, and that's as much as I'm going to elaborate on that. Improvements all the time. Just got I knew the transits were coming. I didn't know they were going to hit that hard in my 6th house. So, thank you all for the space to do that. I really, really appreciate that. It was hard. Don't ask me how I did it. I just did it. It was hard. And I would like to really go through what this eclipse season looks like for you, because the last time we were in eclipse season was last fall, and it was just the Aries Libra axis that we were looking at eclipse season. But right now we're in eclipse season where we're going to get that first preview of the Virgo Pisces North Node and eclipse axis. And the one on the 17th going into the 18th, if you're in Europe, it's probably on the 18th, is it's going to be interesting. It's not at all like the one that was April 8th that felt like cataclysmic, or or that it had 3 different like malefic things going on at the same time, which it did. That one was just a lot. This one's a lot, but in a different way. This is, I believe the one in September is going to be a window into what the spring looks like. And especially March and April, when we have the, pile up on aisle 4 with Pisces, and we have the North Node in Pisces, but there's a minute there with, besides Cancer and Mars and Jupiter Gemini and the Uranus still in Taurus, everything is in Pisces. And I think that we're going to see a lot of, I don't think you can have all those transits and not have a lot of spiritual awakenings and have a deepening and strengthening of people who are already practicing their spiritual gifts, looking into their kind of 5D selves, their higher selves, like just understanding that there's more than the physical body, and understanding the power that comes with it. And so I believe that in September, and I'm going to do a whole actual astrological show on this. Today we're going to pull cards. But I do believe that in September on the 17th, that first flash of eclipse, which is going to be at 25 degrees Pisces sun, and it's a very, very loose conjunction, but Saturn is co-present with that in Pisces. And then on the other side, we will have Mercury in Virgo co-present with the sun, and then we have Uranus and Capricorn both trining. So we have kind of a grand trine with Uranus and Pluto with the sun in this eclipse. And so we have power. We have shift and surprise, Uranus will always kind of like shake things up to make sure things are lined up as they should be. So Uranus comes in, the Tower card comes in when maybe we're not, we just are exhausted. Let's be honest. Sometimes we're exhausted and we're like, I know I have to do that thing. I know it would be better to like just have the conversation, bite the bullet with this situation, that situation, this person, end something, and we don't, because we know what the fallout's gonna look like. And so, or we're too nice. We don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. We don't want to like upset anything for anyone else. And Uranus will kind of come in and shake things up so you don't stay stuck. So to me, it's very interesting that we have both Pluto and Uranus really heavily playing into this Virgo Pisces full moon. And, all of the opposite signs are opposite, but man, Virgo and Pisces. So when we have this grand trine in Earth, right, and both in retrograde, both the outer planets in retrograde, but a grand trine between the Sun in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus, that is going to create an energy where the sense of self, the sense of energy, the sense of how do I go on tomorrow? Am I going to understand and harness, rethink what my power actually is in this situation? Or am I going to let Uranus come and whop, 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 fuck it up for me, so that it's kind of like, sometimes when we don't address something, Uranus is kind of like the thing that pushes us to, like, oh, I didn't do it. This outside circumstance did it. Well, now we have to deal with this. So when you're anti-confrontational, because you want to be nice, because you're exhausted, because you have trauma, anti-confrontational isn't an accusation. It is what it is, right? However, anti-confrontational, while we feel like that's kinder, often we feel like being anti-confrontational is kinder to everyone around us because we're not want to be starting something. The truth of it is, when you are anti-confrontational, it almost always ends up not being a good thing for you. For the person that is anti-confrontational, it will show up eventually, right? We can choose not to be confrontational about something, but that thing will persist. No time in human history has being anti-confrontational made the problem go away. So sometimes things like Uranus will come in and be like, wop, 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 fuck it up. So that the thing can be dealt with. So, with all of that Earth energy and with Virgo energy specifically, it's very much almost giving a choice, so that you can either harness the power or let the surprise hit and deal with it later. Do you ask for permission, or do you beg for forgiveness? Or do you just do it and not worry about the forgiveness? So situations around the house subject and around your own personal planets, we're looking at 25 degrees Virgo, 25 degrees Pisces, 25 degrees in your earth signs for sure, 29 degrees also, anything from 25 to 29 degrees in earth, or any of your 25 degree mutables, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And, we kind of have the cardinal the mutable and the fixed energy all kind of taking a turn here with that Taurus, Uranus and Taurus, and the Pluto in Capricorn. So where do you have that 25 degrees of Pisces? What house is that falling in? What house is the Uranus? Where's your 25, where's your 26 degrees of Uranus, or your 29 degrees of Capricorn? All of these things are going to take shape. And then you will have to decide, do I, beg forgiveness, ask for permission, or just do it? Do the thing, say the thing, confront the thing, deal with the thing. Listen, the sun's in Virgo. It could be as easy as like tackling the garage. For some of you, it will be that simple. It'll be tackling the garage, tackling the storage room, tackling your bedrooms, tackling something that has to go through. Maybe it's tackling paperwork that's overdue. But with Uranus so heavily in play here, I promise, what's in your subconscious when you're like, I should do that, but you're also distracting yourself where you can, because you don't want to deal with it. Again, maybe because you're anti-confrontational, because you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. That's often a trauma response. It won't matter. Don't shame yourself about procrastination if it's really just a trauma response. It's an avoidance trauma response. But you already know. We're going to pull cards, but you already know what that thing is. And then go look in the house. I'm going to do a whole special. I'm definitely going to do chart readings for the members. Thank you, all of the members. I am going to have the chart readings for all of the members. I think I'm going to do that sometime this week. I'll probably have 2 dates, and then so look out for that email. And of course, if you can't make it, you'll let me know, and I can do a live where I read any of the other charts. 25 degrees, second, okay, Pisces is in the second house. So it depends on your cusp. Some of you are going to have Saturn in that same house, and some of you are going to have Saturn in a different house. And when that shows up in certain houses, Saturn and Pisces to me is like the soft boundaries, but it's also sometimes shoving things down and then having it emotionally explode, because Pisces tend to be nice and kind, and not all of them are anti-confrontational. It depends on the subject matter, and it depends on your other placements. But it's something that could drain your energy that you've just been kind of avoiding dealing with. And so we're going to see where that comes up. And again, I will do a membership live, and I will probably do maybe a live. You guys all let me know in the comments if you want me to do a live for everyone for the eclipse, like a week before, and we can just kind of look at it all together. Thank you, everybody, for all the kind words in the chat. I really, really, really appreciate it. All right, let's start pulling these cards. So because we have Uranus and Pluto involved, I think I will keep this. Both of them are kind of big. All eclipses are kind of big. The one on the 18th is much bigger. I feel like I can't tackle that here. So I'm just going to pull cards for the eclipse in September. And I'm going to look at 3 cards. I'm going to look at what it means for you for your interpersonal relationship, which means your relationship with self, what it might mean for a romantic or, you know, relationship or situationship, and 1 card for just advice, how to deal with whatever shows up, because there's, you know, Uranus is there. So sometimes we can't expect what's coming in Uranus. I feel like you can this time more than normal, but we're going to look at what's the advice, what's the general advice. All right, so let's start with Aries. How are my Aries? Yeah, guys, thank you so much. And I think I'm also going to run a special. It's so funny, my voice, I'm not used to. I really have not been live other than one-on-one appointments. And thank you, Juan. We did a 90-minute solar return, detailed solar return with dates for things that he can expect. And I did a specific solar return Celtic cross reading with that. And those are available on the website, but I'm gonna run a discounted special. Probably a thank you for the patience and the space. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay. Okay. Call back all my power to be now from anyone using it without my permission, and release any energy that's not mine to carry or in my highest good. I just want to connect with the Aries in the room. Okay. Okay, this is very interesting. My Aries, so Aries, sun, moon, rising. If this resonates, listen, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, don't. If you're Aries, sun, moon, and rising, and this does not feel like your stuff, don't take it on. Don't take on the stress. I am never here to give anyone anxiety. Also, if you have a lot of first house placements, okay. So the 4 of Cups in reverse for the interpersonal card, your relationship with self, what this might bring up. I had something happen recently, and I was having a conversation with a dear friend, and they were saying, well, you didn't necessarily do anything in that situation. I was like, yes, but it's a pattern. So I still have to look within self. And sometimes we can have things happen to us that are not of our making, right? Somebody could maybe do something or say something unkind, or something unexpected happens, and it robs your savings, and you feel like, oh God, I can't catch up, right? But if there's a pattern, we can still look on not how we asked for it, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in shame, and fuck politeness when it doesn't keep us safe, right? So, but if we look at it as, where could I have maybe, and this is so pertinent to this particular eclipse that's coming up, where could I have where could I have interceded? Where could I have acted on something where I held back and thought, no, that'll clear itself up? Where could I, where was I too kind or too nice, or, wherever it was, when we can look and see, like, where did I ignore the red flag? Where did I take my hope and my not wanting to deal with anything that's going to drain my energy because I'm just exhausted by life in general, because I'm examining trauma, and that's healthy and necessary and also exhausting. Where did I take my light and my hope and my positivity and paint white over that red flag and made it pink and not deal with it? So sometimes there's patterns like that. It never means that we ask for things. It never means that we deserve people to be unkind to us, or that we're patsies or doormats or anything like that. It could be something that we just need to look within ourselves that we haven't examined yet. Things will come up our whole entire lives. You can be really healed, you can be really emotionally mature, and you can still have things come up that you were like, right? With that being said, interpersonal relationship. If anyone's taking timestamps, I would super appreciate it. One, it's your birthday. You don't have to sit here and do timestamps if you've got plans. We have the Four of Cups in reverse. The Four of Cups for me is, right, where universe is trying to give us this cup, and we're kind of just focusing on what we don't have. We're not paying attention. We're not using these. It feels sometimes unrequited. And this one, I love this card especially because there's like this whole rainbow. There's this whole aura of hope on this side. And she's ignoring it. She's looking off into space, and even her hand is touching the bowl. And it's full of, you know, as are these, full of colors and brightness, and she's off thinking about what she doesn't have, right? When it's in reverse, I love this. This means something that you have felt is not available to you. I want you to ask yourself, there are a lot of habits that are hard to break, right? I find for me, and also for the other humans that I love and deal with in my personal life, and also with clients, that sometimes it is simply the verbiage we use about ourselves that is a very hard habit to break. These things would include, fuck my life. Ugh, of course this happened to me. Oh, well, you know, this is how things go. There is a moment here where you can make a decision to understand your power instead of the narrative. And that's a common social construct to say, like, oh, of course, with my luck. With my luck is one of the most damaging things you can say to yourself. FML and with my luck, people who walk around, and I understand that it's a trauma response. Scorpio risings have this a lot, and I'm, you know, expect the worst from people and you'll never be disappointed, right? And it doesn't mean you should go through. I just kind of made light of taking your hope and your positivity and your healing and painting red flags pink so that you can ignore them. But expecting, expectations are happiness killers, right? I've waxed on ad nauseum about this in a lot of lives. When we have the Four of Cups, this is you stopping saying to yourself, just my luck, of course with my luck, FML, well, I'm just going to expect everything to go wrong and then I won't be disappointed. Any of those things. You already know what it is you say. Well, maybe I'm just a terrible person. Maybe I was a bad person in a bad life. That's another one. I must have been a terrible person in my last life. That's why all this is happening. The habits that we create, or feeling like that's just what we get. We don't get to be happy. We don't get to have financial freedom, security, whatever it is. if you feel like rejection is a pattern, and at this point, you just never expect to fit in. You expect rejection from people. And that has caused you to go along with the flow. Now, I'm talking to Aries people right now. So I know you're probably all thinking like, Aries are so bold and so loud and so like, fight me, right? And as an Aries moon, we can be. But, and also, they are very passionate. And rejection and not having somebody defend you and protect you the way that you should when you are a child, and that should be expected, that should be one of the basic needs, is often a part of an Aries story of childhood. I protect others. I don't expect others to protect me. Aries, little secret here, often don't feel safe. Even with people who tell them you can feel safe with me, because they've heard that a lot. And then indeed, we're not safe with that person, right? So then how do you take that real lived experience, that real lived history, right? Because we don't believe in toxic positivity either. And where's the sweet spot? It's of learning how to feel safe. We think, well, I'm just not going to trust the wrong people anymore. Hate happens. For everyone, whatever your signs are, whatever your placements are, who's ever thought, each time I learn, each time I heal, each time I get smarter, each time I have more lived experience, it's helping me fine-tune out the people I should not let in. It's helping me have better discernment on who I can trust and who I can't, who will betray me and who won't. Here's a real fact of trauma-informed education and life, is that one of the first things we do to learn in childhood to be safe in our position in our home. It doesn't mean you're beat every day or you're not fed, but to feel safe in love and belonging and acceptance and kindness in our nuclear families when we are growing up, because those should be, in a perfect world, those are all just extended to you, and you don't have to work that hard for them, right? Because you're a child. So the first thing we learn to do when we don't feel completely secure with any of those is to mask. By the time we get into adulthood, so many people are so good at masking that they're unaware when they are. Whether that's masking that you feel okay when you don't, because you don't want to be a bother to anybody. You don't want to be too much, because if you're too much, then you're not lovable. Right? These are all very Aries subjects, but they can extend to everyone. This changes for you over the next couple of months, but especially in September. What you think you can't have, 4 of Cups, focusing on, I just don't get that in life. I don't get the relationship. I don't get the money. I don't get the happiness. I don't get the self-esteem. I don't get the walking into a room and feeling like I belong. I don't get finding the right words or saying them as eloquently as somebody else. Whatever it is, you're gonna stop focusing on that. You have opportunity here, and you can really start the shift for your life by listening to the words that you say. Anything that's even remotely self-sabotaging, like just my luck. That was way too much time for one card, but I missed you all. Here's the great news. In a relationship, situationship, whether that's romantic, platonic, whatever it is, whatever relationship is probably the first one you think of right now. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, for me, that means one of two things. Either one, if you're worried that somebody is cheating on you, lying to you, stealing from you, any of those unethical things, they may not be. The other thing is, if they have been or if they were and you just have not wanted to deal with it, they may get called out in another way. Because in this Seven of Swords, we have this is the town crier right here saying, yo, your pal over here is absconding with your trust. Either it's not happening, right? If you have suspicion, but you have no proof and you're not sure if it's like old experiences making you just jump to that conclusion. Again, very on point for the subject matters that'll come up for this eclipse. Then you can release some of that worry. And if you know it's kind of happening, you're either going to be able to break from it completely or you're going to have confirmation. This is very especially important if somebody's been gaslighting you. Like if you've confronted somebody and they're saying, you're crazy, that's not happening, but you kind of really know. This is also important when we're trying to trust our intuition. Something else, some other evidence will come out that will help confirm, and you can ignore any gaslighting you may feel. Okay. The advice card is very interesting. Page of Cups came out sideways. So there's a situation probably for you, first house Aries people. And just if this is all resonating, then take it, right? Then you're meant to hear this message. I respect cards that come out sideways. I feel like this is, for Page of Cups can be, do I offer that little bit of love? Do I come in with like, hey, nice shoes when I really want to ask you out? Do I come in with, how are you doing today when it really should be an apology? This is giving a smaller version of something, usually like testing the waters, or just not saying something with your full chest that you maybe should. You'll know your situation. This is either you possibly getting an apology, or it's do you apologize? I really feel like for a lot of you, there's more information that's going to come out that the eclipse will bring out. If you're looking to go mend something, especially in like a friendship or a thing where you feel like there's misunderstanding and maybe you're like rereading your text or going over every detail in your head about where that went wrong. Make no mistake about Aries. They will apologize. They'll get really, really pissed off. They'll have a big reaction. And then if they realize that they had a very strong reaction to something, they'll apologize. They don't really hold grudges. You gotta do something that you can't come back from for an Aries to just completely cut you off and hold a grudge. It's just not normally who they are. They could have other placements that sure make them do that, but it's not going to be by way of their Aries placements if they're cutting you off and not giving you another chance or not apologizing. This feels like you wait on your apology because there's another piece of information. Some of that information is information you need to know so you don't compromise or make a truce or a treaty. This even could be work stuff. You don't sign a contract. My nose is itchy all of a sudden. And Part of it also is the other piece of information is a realization about possibly the way you handled something. And it helps you step into a more confident place when you have to have this talk, so you can come in as the King of Cups or the Queen of Cups instead of the Page when this conversation has to take place. Whatever this conversation is, you may want to wait for it till after the eclipse, because you're going to get a piece of information. Maybe set up the conversation to have the conversation a couple of days afterwards. And again, that eclipse is the 17th or 18th if you're in Europe. All right, let's look at Taurus. Taurus, second house. Second house placements for Sun, Moon, Rising. I think you guys will all be so happy when Uranus is out of your sign, which happens next year, but it takes forever. It's like, just to kind of get into Gemini, it doesn't even get to like 11, 12 degrees of Gemini until 2028. Uranus retrogrades a lot, and it retrogrades for a long time, and it does. So it takes 7 years to get through a sign. So Taurus, you are at the tail end of Uranus in your sign. No one really loves Uranus running through their sign, unless you're an adrenaline junkie. However, it's really so anti-Taurus. I mean, Uranus is the antithesis of everything Taurus wants to be, that solid, steady foundation. And so I feel for all my heavy Taurus placement people, but I promise you, you're on your last 9 months, 10 months of Uranus. We're almost there, as Tiana says. And just a reminder, if you want me to do like a whole live for everyone, not just members, of course, the member live, I will be looking at their charts and maybe going a little bit more in depth. But if you want me to just do a public live on this channel about this eclipse with the grand trine between the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto, you can leave me a comment, like in the regular comments after the video, and I will also check the chat later. Oh, I hope I did press the button so that the chat is still there after the live. You might need to leave a comment after. I might have forgotten to do that. Doing my best. I'm doing my best, honey. Taurus. Okay, we need one card for relationship with self. Do you not want this deck? What is happening? One card. The deck may be kicked. If you read, you know what that means. Yeah. And just leave it alone. Good tarot, Colette Baron Reed. I love this deck for Taurus. Okay, card right away. Ooh. All right. And card for advice. For relationship itself, we have a beautiful, beautiful Six of Cups. This is reflection. This is childhood healing. This is stuff coming up for you. But it feels nurturing. This is reparenting yourself, quite frankly, or having somebody supportive that feels like a soulmate, whether that's a romantic soulmate. I find that most of the strongest soulmates in my life are, quite honestly, I won the lottery, and my kids, including my bonus that's been in our family now for almost 12 years. And she was the one who said it to me first, which was like, I still have the card. I still have the text also. But I got lucky, and those are some of my soulmates. My dad, for sure. We finished each other's sentences, but also some of my friends. And so this could be a soulmate situation with a friend, whatever, because this is interpersonal about you. There is support while you do you need a safe environment while you do reflecting around this Taurus. Whatever the subject matter is, it's going to be a big revelation, right? With the eclipses do that. And with the grand trine in earth signs, what comes up is probably going to be foundational. Hey there. It's probably going to be foundational. And when something comes up that's really foundational, it kind of makes us question who we are. Or we have a huge epiphany of like, that's why I always had those relationships. And now that I understand that, I can address it and I don't have to repeat that cycle. So either way, it's big. But I feel like Taurus, you're going to have, with that Six of Cups there, you're going to have support from a soulmate type person. And again, the reflection of this is extremely helpful, but it's definitely, this feels like an aha moment and a big one. For your relationships, interpersonal, it's interesting because my first vibe when this came out by itself was like, this is going to be a moment. But do you see how she's like supported here by the earth, by the ground, by the kind of rocks around her? But she doesn't look all alone. She feels like, you know, she's got support around her as she reflects the six of Cups, this childhood healing, this soulmate energy. And then when the card for relationship, whether that's situationship, romantic, or friendship, whatever relationship is the most that's coming up, we have Three of Earth. This is an upgrade. This is an upgrade. This is kind of working together. It's the Three of Pentacles. I see that as my upgrade card. If we were doing like money or career, that for me would be promotion. But it might be the friend that gets you through this, or the person. And for some of you, that friend is going to turn into something more. That just came through very clearly. Two cards came out, Taurus, for your advice. This is the Five of Swords. You already have what you need to win. You already have, like, I know you're on ready, right? But all the work you've done on yourself, like where you're sitting, whether you realize it or not, where you're sitting in your spiritual journey, you know, it's like when we lose weight, but we're doing it slowly and surely. So we're only losing 1/2 pound and we can't see it until somebody else looks at us that hasn't laid eyes on us in a month and go, oh, you lost weight, right? You're like, did I really? Because I don't feel like it. Sometimes we do that with our spiritual journey. You're further along than you realize. You don't have to, not that you, we all will have stuff come up until the day we die, right? We all heal until the day we die. But this particular subject that you were trying to heal from, or that you're worried that you haven't had enough growth, or you haven't changed, or you're going to repeat the cycle, you are further than you realize. You don't need to like fight that subject anymore. I think this has a lot to do with the company you keep. One of the ways that we can see healing is how comfortable are we in the same situations from years ago? How comfortable are we in those same circles, Taurus? Like, if you still love those people, but when you go to Kiki, when you go to hang out with them, when you like, the conversation isn't flowing. They want to talk maybe about gossipy things, or they want to focus on like maybe a woe is me, and you're recognizing your old patterns in them, and it almost makes it difficult to really have that flow that you had before. Not that there's anything wrong with them, and not that they're a bad person, or not that you're better than them, but you can see pieces of your unhealed self that were so fed in that dynamic that you don't need to feed anymore, right? So that is the advice. If you want to know if you've grown, look and see if you almost prefer your own company over the old groups or even old activities. The other thing that came up here was the King of Cups in reverse. Listen, Cancer has, Mars has moved into Cancer. Taurus, you may have a big emotional reaction to something. Pay attention to it. Around the time of the eclipse, something may, you know, you may be trying to do that whole, when they go low, we go high right now. That may not be possible around the eclipse. This could be, I'm feeling family for a lot of you. You're going to have a visceral reaction. Allow it. Allow it. It's probably part of what you're examining. But you don't have to like fight yourself, and you don't have to like fight those people anymore. Just allow yourself to have that reaction, because that reaction is showing you how not okay the things that used to let be okay. So whether that's the way somebody treated you, or was mocked you, or was passive aggressive to you, and all of a sudden you're like, no, that's not okay. You can't talk to me that way anymore. But you allowed them to go to talk to you that way for years. There's going to be a visceral reaction to something. It's going to feel very emotional, and I almost feel like, Taurus, you're going to be mad at yourself because you feel like they got the best of my emotions, or I didn't want to have that. I didn't want to show them that. I didn't want to give them that, right? But it's not about them or what they get or won't get, because that won't change who they are. This is to show you how unnatural that feels now to your body. This big emotional response, you will feel from head to toe. And so it is a huge sign for you to see what is no longer, what no longer is just absorbed, right? The body keeps the score. We hold our trauma in our bodies. We make our bodies absorb what we don't want to deal with, what we can't, what we don't have the tools to deal with yet. And this doesn't go in, better out than in, right? If you've ever had a session with me, you've heard me tease about the great philosopher Shrek. This is better out than in. This is out rather than in. And Taurus can compartmentalize. Because it's better to look stable, right? Even if we're feeling unstable. And sometimes we can feel judged by others if that's what they expect of us, and we can't give it to them, right? Whatever that is, let it happen. Let it happen. All right, let's look at Gemini. Let's look at Gemini. Which we're going to use the Modern Witch Tarot. You know, when your energy gets zapped, everything is like triage. And I really, really, really have to clean and like re-feng shui my office here. And be honest, if I get halfway through and I feel like I'm done, then I will do part 2 tomorrow. I'm going to allow it to be what it is so that I can just get back. I don't feel like me without all of you, to be honest. Sometimes people would say, I miss you, because a lot of you reached out, whether it was in comments or in emails. And I would think, I miss me too. Being physically unwell is not fun. So rather than force myself to do all 12, if that doesn't feel right, I'm going to split this up. And hopefully that is me leading by example for all of you, not to do this performance-based self-esteem thing that we tend to do as humans, because we live in a what we produce valued society. And I'm going to give myself permission to split up the 12 signs. And I just hope that if I do that, that is leading by example for you all to give yourselves grace. And feel like you can still be loved and appreciated. Especially the ones of us that like are so focused on, you know, under promising and over delivering. So then when we over promise, it's just like, that's my whole reputation. That's my, right? Okay, Gemini, something is ending. Like in a good way. It was that and that. Huh, that's so funny because that's what we were just talking about. Okay, so Gemini, we have the I am fine, 10 of Swords. Whatever you've been trying to distract yourself from, whatever, something is coming to an end. Gemini, Sun, Moon, 3rd house placements. If you like it, I love it. If this resonates, it's for you. And if you have Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, all in the 3rd, well, obviously you can't have Gemini rising in the 3rd house, but if you have lots and lots of Gemini and this doesn't resonate, don't take it. Don't give yourself anxiety. There's a cycle, and this is about you. So you really are ending a cycle. I feel like you know you did the work. I feel like you know you did the thing. I feel like you just keep wondering, like, is this going to stick? Right? Because Gemini could have, she is looking at her phone. Like, scroll, everything's fine. This feels like something where, you know, Gemini sometimes we all can have repeated patterns. But because Geminis really embrace duality so well, and we need them in this life. We need them in our world. We need them in society. We need their genius. We need their invention. We need their funning. We need their conversation. But because they are so able to embrace duality, it can make them sometimes have a harder time knowing which is the right way, which is the right path to stick to. And also Geminis often have a lot of pressure from outside environments and from other placements that don't understand that duality, that don't walk in those shoes, that maybe possibly shame the ability to kind of like flex and pivot so easily and look at it as a lack of stability, which it really isn't. My Gemini Mercury, sometimes they may doubt themselves just because everybody else kind of is always giving them shit about this. So this is something you've worked hard, you've accomplished, you're putting something that's been really hard, possibly painful, possibly physical, to an end, Gemini moons. You really worked hard on this. It's the self-doubt that may linger. I'm going to tell you, this looks like success. To me, when we get this card, it means it's really ending. Like, this is the end of the cycle. This isn't the Five of Swords. This isn't the Seven of Swords. This isn't the Nine of Swords. This is the end of this painful cycle. Whatever it is that you just worked really hard, and it feels like you've been working hard at it for a while. You got to keep the other noise out. Got to keep the other noise out, my lovely, lovely Geminis. You cannot fuck with the Gemini placements around me, like the Gemini slander. No, not happening. You will meet my Aries moon and my Cancer Mars. The moon. This is what you get for situationship, relationship, just whatever. It doesn't have to be romantic. You know, and we have the truth here. We have the sea hag, as I like to call her. If you ask for it, it will come. There's a relationship, and it may be the same relationship that worries you, that you're going to double back on all your on all your progress. Oof. Okay, Gemini, this is really channeled. Whatever it is that you're working on, right? It's been like, it almost feels like a lifelong thing, whatever this is. And it feels like possibly, again, I feel a lot of like people giving you shit or shaming you. And you may have actually, like, possibly with your own struggle with this, inadvertently not wanting to, but hurt other people's feelings, partially because of their expectations. Feeling like if you really love them, you would fix this thing, and that's just not how any of that works. But you may feel like because you fix this thing, it's going to also fix the relationship, because that person's been telling you the problem lies with you. The problem lies with you. If you fix that thing, we'd be fine. If you fix this thing, if you get over this thing, it'll be fine. And the thing is that if you ask your guides, if you ask universe, if you ask for the truth to come out, for you to really see the hard truth about, you know, you may have thought to keep the relationship, whether this is a friendship, a family, a romantic, a situationship. You may feel like, I feel healthy now, so the relationship will be healthy now, but it might just be the healthy that you feel that allows you to ask and see the truth that the eclipse will bring you, that there might be toxicity in this relationship. I just want to be honest. And I feel like the toxicity has been put on you, and I feel like if you ask for the truth, you will get it. This is two people doing like a little full moon ritual, and the truth coming out, and the truth isn't maybe that pretty, but it will serve you well. And I think that the truth about this person that might make it easier for you to kind of separate yourself, and also separate the blame, is going to keep you, because for some of you, I feel like this is around eating, drinking, something that feels almost addictive, like a cycle. But I don't want to like really put a hard, like, no shaming, nothing. But again, I feel like a lot of relationships in your life, they're like, oh, well, that's on you, because if you fix this, there would be no problems. But you're going to fix it and see that there's still problems. And if they guilt you enough, if they shame you enough, that is maybe when you have gone back into that bad cycle, the self-sabotage. And so if you ask for the truth, you will get it, and it will set you free. And that is actually what's going to help you stay on the path to like keep this hard work and keep this progress for yourself this time. Woo! Okay. For the advice, the Eight of Pentacles is in reverse. Don't put too much pressure on what, like, you know that you've done the work. You know that you worked really hard to get where you're at with this, right? Don't overdo yourself. And that's why I said it's so funny, because I was just saying, like, hey, listen, guys, if I get to 6 signs and I'm like, that's as much as I can do right now, then, you know. I see the Eight of Pentacles. Some people only see Eight of Pentacles as, oh, this isn't going to work, or out of work. But when I see the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, to me, this is something that might flow. It might not feel like work because it might become easier, but also it's really showing me that it's important to rest and not be like, if I don't keep like proving my work to everyone, no one will believe me. And then I will feel bad about myself. This is all about cycles for Gemini. Don't forget that a year and a half ago, right? We're about to go into another Mars retrograde. It's going to go into retrograde starting in Leo, but where it's really going to stay for a very long time is in Cancer. So either one of those signs, if you have early Leo or late Cancer, you're going to have that Mars retrograde pressing on you. But we had that 8-month-long excruciating Gemini Mars retrograde. We had Mars in Gemini for like 8 months for a while there, a year and a half ago. That really was there to be a catalyst of change and to just kind of provoke the understanding of what needed to be changed, confronted, taken on, battled in Gemini's life, Gemini placements. Immutable, but Gemini big time, right? And so I feel like you've done that. Now you're in that space. What happens is, like, when we have the nodal access in our nodes, it's not to, like, you know, we go through the things come up during that nodal access, and then we have an awareness now, and then we take time to heal, and then we, you know, it takes years. So now you're in this space, Gemini, where you have seen the cycle so clearly, and you don't have to put it all on you. It doesn't have to be put all on you. And you don't have to keep like proving and showing your work and making sure other people are giving you permission to be better. And listen very clearly. Ask for the truth and then listen when it's given to you. If they keep making passive aggressive, well, you know, you'll go back to that, or, well, let's just hope it sticks this time, or whatever it is. Those are not your people. Those are not people interested in your success. Those are people who are more comfortable when you're down so they can be higher in their brain, that they're not really higher or above. Okay. Cancers. Let's look and see. Oh, I'm going to use this deck. Y'all are making me blush in the comments. Thank you. One of the things that I did while I was in rest mode, because I actually wasn't able to do as much computer work as I would like because I was having an issue. It was extending to like my eyes and migraines and stuff. But one of the things that I did was delve into some science of some things. And so I literally like took hyaluronic acid and a whole bunch of other skincare and pigments and made myself Korean cushion foundation. I was already making my own skincare, so it's like more skincare than it is makeup. I had time to listen to videos and listen to the science behind like why that stuff looks so good. So I appreciate everything everyone's saying, but that's probably the glow. I was like, oh, I can use that. People are going to look at me today. I will put that stuff on. Okay. Woo. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. You know, I just mentioned Mars is officially in your sign. It's going to roll out, go into Leo, and then go back into your sign and stay there until the spring. So, I'm not shocked at the card for yourself. All right, let's see. Card for, we just started Cancer. So let's get a card for relationships, situationships, romantic or not. Okay. Very, very interesting cards. Cancer. I a little bit feel like I'm being read to filth, but even though every time I'm like, not for me, not for me, not for me. But you know, hopefully this resonates for other people. If Cancers are all watching this and they're like, that Cancer reading didn't make sense, I will literally do another quick Cancer reading and record it and put it up as a short. Because I don't want to be doing my own reading here. Your interpersonal strength. Now, listen, Cancers, we all know that other people seeing you as a crybaby pushover is just their own, perceptions, and not actually who you are, because Cancers are strong. Cancers are ancient. You got that hard shell. You got those pincers. So you know how to be strong. But do we see the egg cracking and the Ouroboros around the snake that eats itself? My end is my beginning, and there's a new egg open, right? And there's fogginess up by the head. It looks like her hands are tied behind her back by the snake. But the snake is Ouroboros. It is my end is my beginning. It is the snake that eats itself. So there is something you have to crack open. You're going to have to be strong. I do think that this, this eclipse in September is a preview. And the Pisces energy that's about to happen this spring and all through the nodal axis of the Pisces, because the North Node will be in Pisces. I will be having a nodal return, not this year, next year, because mine's at like 4 degrees. And we all know the nodes go backwards. They come in at 29 and end at 0. Yeah, I know you feel like, I promise it will work out, because Ouroboros is there. That is my end is my beginning. It's a beginning. The egg is cracked open. You're going to have so much faith. It also has like almost a little muzzle over her mouth, if you can see. You're going to have so much faith in yourself, in where you've grown, especially because, your nodal axis was now like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 5. And you learned a lot there. Cancers have had some shifts. This could be like getting comfortable. Like you went through the nodal axis. You went through, you know, listen, there was Mars retrograde and then, Venus retrograde. And now we're going to have a little bit of Mars retrograde in Leo. And if you're Cancer, you probably have a little Leo. If you're Cancer, you might have got hit by that Gemini Mars retrograde. So it could feel like the last 5-6 years, there's been like big stuff. You've had Pluto and Capricorn opposing your placements. It's been a while, right? That you've had challenges, and you are cardinal, you are Cancer, you are forged in fire. So I really feel like you may have gotten comfortable in this new skin, and you know, now something else is going to birth. Now something else is going to maybe challenge you to come find that strength. But here's the thing, it's not, it won't be as hard as what happened 5-6 years ago. It just won't. Because I think that what I'm feeling for Cancer too in the Strength card in the Ouroboros is that I'm hearing white snake. Here we go again on my own. If we think like, here we go, all that progress for what? All this work, and what did it get me? That is where your hands are tied behind your back. So I want you to remember that you're not back in the same situation because you're not the same person. For relationships, we have the Four of Cups. Something that you thought that ship had sailed, it's not available to you anymore. It will be. Something that was unrequited may be requited. Now, whether that's something, doesn't necessarily have to be a person that you thought that person and I will never be, but the kind of relationship that you thought, maybe that ship has sailed, maybe I'm too old, maybe I have too much baggage, maybe whatever, you know, maybe I don't have the body of a 20-year-old where I felt like confidence, or whatever the case is that is making you feel like I don't get that. It's coming back. Whatever you felt like was unrequited, or whatever you felt like was not available to you, you definitely know it's available to you. Also, something that you might have looked at that person and said, they're not for me. They could have grown. Like maybe 5 years ago, if somebody said, oh, you two would be so cute, and you go like, well, I think we're at two different places, or like, that's just not the person for me. Like there's not enough zazazoo, whatever. This could, for some of you, this is about somebody that you friend zoned, which as Cancers do, as one does if you're a Cancer, that you're going to let back out of the friend zone. Not let them back out as it's a mental decision, but like all of a sudden their growth is going to be attractive to you. But something comes in, something that was unrequited becomes requited. We have Four of Wands as the advice. And that's very funny. I find that humorous. When this unrequited comes in, when all of a sudden, and it could have just been that you're like, I'm not interested in relationships right now. Like, I built a life. I'm really happy for myself. Kind of done with it. I'm okay. Like, I really am. Something's going to come in, and it may feel really, really good. Cancers are strong. Cancers are badass. And Cancers also have, sometimes can like plan a wedding within a month, because you don't do relationships unless Cancers don't really do casual. So like that connection has to be so strong. It has to be intuitive. It has to be right. So then when you feel it that strong, everybody is like, where you've been my whole life, just stay there. We're going to go get married now. Right? I'll pick you up, wear a white dress. We'll get married. Slow that roll. That's the advice. Does this have potential to be like marriage, 4 of Wands, 11, divine? Yeah, but slow it. Slow the roll. We're going to do your solar return appointment, Shauna. Shauna's birthday is tomorrow. Juan's birthday is today. We did a really detailed 90-minute solar return for Juan, and it was lots of fun. I love doing them. All right, let's get into Leo. I guess I'm just choosing different decks because, y'all, I'm going to do this pulp tarot. I always want to call it the Pulp Riot. That's a hair color, though. Miss Lee is at work, but she is now like black with green, like ivy. Actually, what's funny is she matches my senior prom dress. I had a black lace and emerald green lame dress, which was not the color trends back there. It was black and white, and it was sherbet colors and turquoise. And I did not, my Uranus in the first house did not want to show up like everyone else. So, but that's, yeah, her hair is, we did like a black shadow root and black lowlights. And then she's got like 3 different colors of green in her hair. I'll have to post a picture. And they love her at work. They made her, and I knew it. I told her it would happen. They made her full-time. And again, I will post a discount for sessions just as a thank you for your patience for the YouTube community. And just so you know, I didn't cheat on you guys. It wasn't on TikTok or anywhere else either. I was just doing one-on-one personal appointments here and there. Okay. Leos, my lovely Leos. I hope you are all well. You're in the last vestiges of Mercury is at 28, 29 degrees of Leo, and then it's gonna, that'll be interesting too, because Mercury is about to move into Virgo in one of its home signs, and it's going to be sextiling that Mars in Cancer. So finding your words for your very strong emotions and your very strong, this is getting done, this is getting said, this is getting moved on, and then finding the words and the ways about it. It's going to be very interesting for Virgos, Cancers, and Leos, because you probably have some of both of that energy. Okay, so Leos, we need a card for you for yourself. Oh, that's not so shabby for Leo. All the ladies love her at work. She works at actually a really nice grocery store. Like great benefits and everything. But they all love her, especially like the ladies, like all the mom age ladies. And she has made friends with the cheesemonger. So every day she comes home with these little, that the lady sends home, like these like manchego cheese, but with like a fig for me, like all these little samples. So every day she sees Emily, she goes, I have this for your mama. Very, very sweet. Yeah, they made her, she started part-time and they made her full-time like within 6 weeks. So, oh, you're welcome, Renata. I'm so glad to see all of you. I feel like more like me. Yeah, so now I will, when I feel good enough to like make protein bagels for the house, I send her in with some bagels, or if I make like the New York style bagels, I send them in to work to thank the ladies for just being so lovely to her. So they send cheese home and snacks, and then I send stuff in. It's funny. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, Leo. Leo placements. 5th house placements. By the way, Cancer also applies if you have strong 4th house placements. The relationship for you, we have Page of Pentacles. There's a new start. There's a new way that you can look at yourself. There is like new stability and a new mindset. Like this feels... This card makes me want to say like very demure, very mindful. Oh my God, Danny, I literally pictured you in my head, and then you popped up in the chat when I saw this card. And this is like giving yourself a new lease on life. Now it's a page, so it means it's the beginning of something. What's incredible is, I'm just going to show you the other cards. These are the cards that popped out for you. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So we start here with yourself, just allowing there to be a new start. And this, I think, is with people. This is with money. This is with career. This is like your image, like all of it. It's a new start. And you are, I want to say you're rebranding yourself in a way. I love this for you. Like this doesn't need a whole lot of explaining, Leo. This is a new lease on stuff. This is, yeah, it's rebranding. And whatever it is, this new start, I mean, it clearly works out. We have the Queen of Pentacles for your relationship. This means if a partner is not already here, whether it's a friend, this could be for a friend, it's a partner, whether it's a platonic partner or a romantic partner. This is not a situationship. I keep saying this card is like also applies for situationships. This doesn't. This isn't. This Queen of Pentacles is, I always say the Queen of Pentacles is like the best partner, because if everything burns down, they will help you build it all back up. Like they are the abundance. They are the moment. They're there for you. This is a partner that helps you build. This is a partner that like you do better with financially, because it's also like there's no, I'm just feeling for somebody, I don't know who this is for, that like money shouldn't be an issue, but either because of gender or mindset or something, there's some other external circumstance other than the money itself, that the money leaks into being a problem. And that might have been like, maybe you're the one who makes more money and that's always been a problem for somebody else, because you're like, I don't care. But then either they care too much, or they get so relaxed in it that they don't kind of put in the same effort. And a Leo will really put in effort if they love you. They're very, very generous. And then that could have built up resentment. This, either there's a change in your current situation, or this is a new partner coming in where this is a beautiful exchange, and you can depend on them. But yeah, for some of you, this is a friend or a business partner. And the advice is, that is the Ace of Pentacles. That is a gift from universe. That is like the stars aligning. That's a whole new, I mean, go get your coins. Jeez, Leo. Because like here it's this pulled back view of her holding up, right, the coin. And then here, this is a person almost offering you. This is her looking at her own new coin. Shiny and new, rebranding, like new stability, on a new path or whatever, and giving permission and grace to do that, to reset, really. And then here is partner coming where there's an offering. And then here is universe coming in also with the handout with the pentacle. Believe in it, manifest it, because it's coming. Manifesting it will only help kind of get it here quicker, Leo. This starts, though, with you have to give yourself permission for a reset in this eclipse. You know, and this could be Uranus, because that's going to square your Leo placement, especially if you have late Leo. I love this. Okay. Virgo, and then I think I am going to call it a day for myself, but also I'm gonna give away a 15-minute. And just as a reminder, I will email if you're on the mailing list. But I'm gonna run a special, maybe something like ridiculous. So if people are interested in looking at the two eclipses, the one in October is a doozy. So whether you want to look at September, October, a little of both, I think I will run a special, like a big one, almost like a flash sale, just because I haven't. And also, just as a thank you, everybody, for the patience. I kind of expected I would go live today and there would be like 4 people here. So it's been really lovely. Oh, I'm good. I'm so glad that resonates. Okay. That was just so weird because when I saw the rebranding and a reset, I saw your face. And then you hadn't been here the whole time in the comments. That was crazy. Okay, Virgo. And then we'll give away a reading. Wow, the 4 cups coming out in reverse today seems to be a theme. Okay. Virgo, you have the Queen of Pentacles also. This is a very fertile, caring, nurturing Queen of Pentacles. This is very interesting. Something is, okay. Virgos, If you identify as female, this could be around your mom. It could be around your mom whether you identify as female or not. If you identify as human, it could be around your mom. This could be around creation, your children, kind of giving... You can be this Surplantis kind of... You are the moment, you are the abundance, but it really has to do with stepping into the creation power and maybe a little bit healing some stuff that is cyclical between your mom and your kids. And like thinking about like what you want, like how you're nurturing children. I feel like this is almost older children, but like what you are breaking cycles. And that doesn't mean we have to have terrible parents. It just means our parents are a product of their own situations and trauma. And God, nobody's talked about that word 10 years ago, let alone 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, it's a fertile card. Whenever I get this card specifically and I grab this deck, and I don't grab this deck a lot. I like it. I don't love it as much as I love a lot of other decks. So there's a reason I grabbed it. Sometimes this predicts pregnancy. So if you are fertile myrtle, be careful if that's not what you want out of life right now. And if that's what you want out of life right now, it's a good time to get it. But for most of you, I think this is around nurturing. And the fine line of caring. Like when you care too much around other adults, whether that's you trying to make up for the pieces that were missing between relationship with mom, or it's crazy. I keep getting this whole thing about like setting the example for the kids. You're paying attention. I would say like be careful what you say because you're listening. There's a lot of this around here because you are the abundance. This is the Queen of Pentacles. This is you. Like if it all burns down, you'll be able to back up again, right? Like this is amazing. And this is money. This is stability. This is, and it's like waiting for you, but also there's something here around, it's not just about the example that you set for your kids of how much you want them to see you. And I hate this word, but this is the word I keep getting. Like, how do you simp for other people? Are you a simp for other people that don't deserve that from you? And is that a reflection of trying to fill a space that an adult should have filled for you when you were a child? And so now you're kind of left trying to constantly fill this yawning chasm. Because when you stop putting the energy there, like the money's going to pile. I also keep hearing, watch the money pile up. Which is from In the Club from 50 Cent. But I keep hearing it. Because it's not only important not to show your kids, not to like simp for people that aren't worth that, but also that you show yourself, that you stop that pattern for yourself. And like once you stop trying to fill the yawning chasm, that watch the money pile up. Watch the stability roll in. Holy cow. Okay. 4 cups in relationship, same as the Cancer placement of this card. I think this is the 4th time this card came out. So we have a 4 of cups. This is unrequited love becoming requited. And what's interesting here, I find this one so funny because they all have tools, right? Trying to get that to focus in. They all have tools, right? It's supposed to be like the 4 of cups. And it's cyclical, right? So she's not paying attention to any of this, but that's what's feeding her. But also there's like a baseball bat. This deck cracks me up. There's so much detail in the drawings that it feels like there's always a very layered message. And my God, for Virgo, that makes sense. The detail, the detail, the detail. I'm going to say, instead of her paying attention to the cup that's being offered, you're supposed to be paying attention to the baseball bat that is wrapped in divine light. This is upside down. So like, wherever you weren't aware that the unrequited thing was for you to shatter some stuff, to break, and you know, again, Virgos, especially around today, like if your birthdays, the sun is opposing Pisces, Saturn right now. It is about boundaries, unrequited relationships, because you had the bat there all the time to set the boundaries. And right now the sun is opposite. That's crazy. Virgo sun is opposite the Saturn in Pisces. Right? Like trying to weave something so nice and so full of light. Meanwhile, universe is like, the bat's here. It's glowing. It's in front of you. Shatter some stuff. So you have relationships around you that you have to just, you know, we've all witnessed the relationships where somebody gets sick or somebody fucks up, and that person still has security in that relationship. And a lot of us don't feel like we can ever be at our worst and still be able to feel loved. It's time for you, Virgo, to like shatter everything. Virgo doesn't like to be a mess. Doesn't like to not be reliable. Doesn't like that. This is time for you to take that baseball bat and like literally just, I almost made the Robert De Niro face. Like, I literally want to say like, Goodfellas, fuck some shit up. Not really. Not like, you know, with people or violent, but like the boundaries that you've felt like if you put them up, then you're not available. You're not of service. This seems like more than one relationship. We have 4 people in this card. It is unrequited. You can have the relationships that you didn't think that you could have. You're going to have to fuck some shit up. Wop, wop, wop. Fuck it up. I love this. The advice is no longer waiting. 7 Pentacles. We are not waiting. This is it's time. This is universe. It's time card. It's time for all of this. Virgo, I love this for you. There's mom stuff. There's shattering the boundaries and like risking being messy and still being loved. And it's time. Universe is going to support all of this. It's time. Okay. I'm going to give away a 15-minute reading. I can't really watch Goodfellas a lot. I can watch live surgery. I can watch horror movies because I know that's not real. I can't even watch Dexter. Goodfellas, it's hard for me to stomach because that's the kind of violence that to me is like, I can't. I mean, I've watched it because I've been in relationships where it was like, what? We're watching that tonight. And brilliant actors. Absolutely. But I can't stomach certain scenes. But it was, I started to feel myself make the Robert De Niro face. Okay. You know, you gotta watch The Godfather. You gotta watch Goodfellas. You gotta watch Casino is another one. I am gonna roll my astro dice. This has the planets on it. It's got the planets and the north and south node. And yeah, that's why it's so hard to watch, because it's... Oh, there's a story. I don't know if I should tell. It's never who you think it is. Because that's why it's never who you think it is. I had somebody bothering me. I was working one of 3 jobs. This was an extra job. It wasn't my career. And somebody was bothering me, coming to my place of work and bothering me. And the very nice man, very uncle-y, very sweet, his little sweatsuits all the time. He used to walk me out when I took the garbage out at night because the neighborhood wasn't that great. And offered to take care of my problem for me. And I was like, it took me a second until he made it very clear what he was offering to do so that that person would never, never, never bother me again. And I was like, oh, no, 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 no. Nope. I promise. I was a tiny thing at the time, and I was like, I promise that I can handle it. Promise I can handle it. Please, please, no. Yeah, they're weaved into the fabric of society. All right, let's roll this dice and give away a 15 minute. Okay. Oh yeah, I have stories for days. For days. I had a very interesting, eventful life. And being adventurous and just like, yeah, let's go be in a place with a whole bunch of people that I don't know, and let's learn, and, you know, being in very authentic places. You'll get some stories. Okay, I rolled. It's a planet. A lot of stories I cannot tell. So it's just a planet. So we're not doing houses and we're not doing signs, just a planet. Sometimes I do the combination, but I feel like I need to get some water and some sustenance into me. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made loving me. Moo. I know you meant moon. Okay. I wanted to see if I got, somebody already guessed it. I wanted to see if I got 2 guesses on it, because then I was going to give away 2. So I'm just waiting. Oh, we do have. All right, I'm going to look for a third, because that other person just had a reading. Does Lilith on here? No, Lilith's not on here. Okay. Guessing planets. The Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, and the nodes south and north are on here. Okay, so it was Venus. It was Venus. Juan also guessed Venus, but I wanted, so Anya and Hannah, both of you can go on to the website and hit the contact button and let me know that you won. Anya, I'm pretty sure I have your email. And then you will get a 15-minute reading. It will be a true 15-minute reading. So if you want to add to it, you're certainly welcome to, or you could just take it as a 15-minute reading. Hi, Amber. Do, do, do. I have that Kiss song in my head now, right? That's Kiss. I was made for loving you, baby. All right. So both of you message me. Oh, Annika. Okay. It was Annika. So there we go. Then I messed that up for a reason. There's all three. So Annika, you can add 15 minutes. I haven't been on here this long. I haven't been on here in long, so I know that it's been a while since she's won something. No. It's that, Anya, if I said you, then all three of you can email me. It's totally fine. Okay, so leave me a comment if you want me to do like a whole like breaking down what this September 17th eclipse looks like. If not, do you want a video on houses or a certain planet? Or let me know what you guys are most interested to see astrological videos on. And I will be, if I don't have your email and you want to have emails, because I haven't figured out the percentage yet. Please go take a look at the website because it's completely reconfigured and I have a whole bunch of like new appointments. And I also have metaphysical only, so they are less expensive than the more like detailed or longer astrological appointments. Because like if I do a 90-minute solar return, I'm putting hours of looking at every single transit and every single degree and your returns for the year and all of that. We're looking at a whole year. So that's a lot of work. It's not, so that's a different price than if I'm just pulling cards. We're channeling. Reiki is different. So it's not just appointment by time anymore. So also, if you're looking at the website and you're like, oh, let me know what appointments you'd be interested to see me run a flash sale on. I'll probably do that by midweek. I'll probably have that out. What I'm going to run it on. Okay? I love you. Now you love you. Thank you all for giving me the space. I feel like me being back with you. And I will see you all soon. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. All right. Bye. And happy birthday to Juan and Shauna.